We're down to the final 4 here in Rosmalen, and it feels like with the 4 players left in the field, this is going to be a huge evening for one of the remaining players. Michael Smith, well, if he wins this, he's in the provisional spots for the match play. Not only that, but he'd also strengthen his Grand Prix hopes and would take another step towards what would feel like a really huge title and his first Players' Championship triumph in almost a year. He's produced some really good stuff over the course of today, running into someone in uncharted territory in Dominik Gruellich, who came through a bit of a battle with Dirk van Dijvenbode to set up this clash. And it was quite interesting because yesterday we saw Dominik miss 2 match darts to get the better of the Auberginius. He didn't miss his opportunity today against Dirk. It was he who had to survive match darts before coming through to make this stage of a Players' Championship event for the very first time in his career. The match that is taking place at the same time as this one on streaming board 1 with Paul Nicholson. Johnny Clayton, who has been in imperious form over the course of today's action, taking on the last remaining Dutchman in Danny Noppert. Dan Dawson joins me for this one. You watched Michael Smith in his quarter-final match. How was he looking in that? Because when we've seen him on this stream today, he has looked fantastic.
Yeah, he's been pretty good today, averaging just over 95, which is not amazing, but he's had 2 games that have dragged those numbers down, particularly his one against Darren Beveridge. But you look at the run he's been given. Ricardo Pietrezco, as well as he's played today, is the world number 29. That is the highest ranked player he has faced. Nick Kenny is only just inside the top 64. 60. Everybody else is either a non-tour card holder. Dominik Gruellich is the world number 120 coming into today. The draw has opened 60. Up for Michael Smith, and he kind of needs to take advantage of this because the players still left in it. It'll either be Smith, Noppert or Clayton's first title of the year, and a very welcome one for them.
59.
Because they've all had problems of some sort or another. Or Dominik Gruellich's first title ever.
39.
I've seen a bit of that from Michael Smith today, losing darts to the floor.
Yeah, did pick up his maiden development tour title earlier this year, Dominik Gruellich.
140.
And if you were with us yesterday on the stream to see that match that I mentioned against Dirk van Dijvenbode, you'll know 95. The issues that he's faced with the dreaded dartitis. But it was quite intriguing. It was mind-blowing, actually, at times, wasn't it? The way he was dealing with it. And at times, the more he was struggling with the release of his dart, the more precise it was. But Michael Smith, that is such a rare error from him. Very rarely do you see him on a bogey number.
39.
But it's stupid darts from Michael Smith. There's no getting around it. He's made 53. Life easy for his opponent there in the opening leg. Dominik Gruellich coming back, looking at double 16 to take the first leg of this. First to 7 in the semi-finals, remember?
No score.
Oh, Michael Smith, an unexpected opportunity. There'll be no throwing darts away here, I can assure you. Can't get the treble.
55. Game shot.
Well, it took 6 darts to get there for Dominik Gruellich, but he does eventually hold throw.
Smith chuntering away.
85.
Doesn't want to beat himself before this game really gets going. may not be happy with conditions, may not be happy with all sorts of things, may not be happy with how his darts are going in the board, may not be happy with how he's played at times today, although he has been solid, if not spectacular. But this is an opportunity. Has not won a title, as you said, for nearly a year in terms of ranking titles. The most recent one he won was the World Cup, playing alongside Luke Humphries, a tournament he is unlikely to be able to defend unless either Humphries or Littler steps aside.
Yeah, Paul Nicholson floated the idea earlier. Gruellich, that's his 8th maximum of the day.
135.
Well, even if Littler did say, I'll step aside so Michael Smith can play, then there's got to be some sort of change in the rules, because if Littler steps aside, it would be Bunting, and then it'd be Cross, and then it'd be Aspinall and Dope. Are they all going to step aside and allow him to play? Are we saying you can step aside and nominate someone to play? Just don't think it's going to happen.
97.
I mean, it would be funny if it was all bar one stepped aside, wouldn't it?
Yes, and in steps James Wade.
86.
Gruellich can't take the 1-2-6, but he leaves himself very well placed. Michael Smith to the 14s. Double 11.
113.
Did well to give himself the chance. Could not take it. Gruellich for a 13-dart break.
Game shot.
That is 2-0.
Well, you mentioned Michael Smith's journey to this point. You've got to beat those players in front of you, and at the moment, him slapping his hands together, he's just not really got going. It's not the Michael Smith that we saw on this board dispatching of Ricardo Pietreczko.
140.
And he was furiously filing away at those points, roughing them up to try and get them to stick in the board. You could even see it with the treble 14 he hit, where it just dropped.
Yeah, that was an issue, actually, that Nathan Aspinall and Dirk van Dijvenbode, during their match on this streaming board yesterday, continued to make. They were on the verge of getting the board changed, actually. They had the exact same issue.
Well, it'd be a different board. They've changed his board several times.
Yeah, of course.
And you could see him moving away from the treble 20s there because he did not like how those darts were stuck in there.
41.
Now, this is an opportunity for Smith to break straight back.
134.
Proper stuff from Michael Smith. 90 left after 9.
$97.
One dart at the bull, and it is pinned by Bully Boy. 12 dart break back.
Little nervous look over the shoulder, just making sure it was a breaker throw, and all of a sudden things are looking a little bit better for Michael Smith. A lot better, actually.
137.
It just feels like after a stuttering start, he might be getting into his stride in this game. Johnny Clayton is averaging 105 in the other semi-final. Johnny Clayton is 3-1 down to Danny Noppert.
100.
Now that would be... Danny Noppert has not won a game on the European Tour where he's been so consistent. He's consistent everywhere, Danny Noppert.
95.
But he's on the worst run he's ever had on the Euro Tour. He's not been amazing in the Players' Championship event. Perhaps having some of the toughest times he's had as a PDC pro in recent months, Danny Noppert. But it could be a huge day for him.
137.
Excellent stuff from Michael Smith. As we've mentioned, could be a massive day, really, for any one of these 4 triumphs. They've all, in some way, shape or form, had their adversities.
Nice open bullseye. Oh, he can't pin it for the second leg running. Leaves himself on 25. Gruellich would love a go at the bull at the end of this. He might get one as well. Couldn't follow that treble 19.
96.
What's the route? Is it 5 or 9? That's 9 for double 8.
9.
Don't think he's particularly pleased with that effort.
What gives you that impression?
This will not enhance his mood. Oh, that's a great dart from Dominik Gruellich. 3-1, the German leads. Michael Smith has been in 16 Players' Championship finals. This is Dominik Gruellich's 16th Players' Championship event, and he might be about to make the final. He's not even halfway there, but he is very, very much in this game. It's not like when he met Michael Smith the first time, which was last year in his first foray into Players' Championship events, where he got annihilated 6-1 by the bully boy, who averaged over a ton.
100.
Look, we have seen surprising players win these events. Harry Ward, Danny Jansen.
100.
Dominik Gruellich might be right up there. Yeah. Non-tour card holder Joe Mernon won one, of course. But Joe Mernon very 100. Much more established in PDC darts than Dominik Gruellich at the time.
Yeah, and Dominik Gruellich has had visible battles over these last 2 days.
$78.
With the way that he's thrown the darts, but an opportunity here.
97.
To extend his lead and prolong Michael Smith's anger.
$43.
Leaves himself on tops, and that might well be enough. Michael Smith, can he pluck this one out? The answer's no. He loses another one to the floor.
40.
And I think with most cases, I think it's how they're being thrown. I think that was the case with Nathan Aspinall. And there is no problem with how Dominik Gruellich is throwing the darts once he lets go of them. He's having some problems letting go of them. But once he does, they are finding their mark pretty regularly. That is 4-1.
100.
Well, Johnny Clayton, you mentioned that he was averaging around 105 and losing 3-1. He's managed to get himself back on level terms, but that's because he's now added 5 points to his average.
100.
Up above 110.
It's a simple game, isn't it? If you're averaging 105 and it's not enough, average more. Yeah. What Johnny Clayton is doing, he is having a sensational day.
60.
He thrashed Michael Van Gogh, and admittedly a way, way below par Michael Van Gogh, and he has thrashed James Wade. Johnny Clayton today...
44.
Now, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I'm sure people will be digging this out. For the fewest legs lost in going to a title or reaching a final. But so far today, the 3 legs he's lost against Danny Nopper only takes his total to 9 legs for the day. And this is his 6th game of the day. To be fair, Michael Smith, having conceded 4 to Ted Everts, has been 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. He has been cruising through the day. It is not a cruise here.
58.
Yeah, at the moment, he's cruising for a bruising defeat. Continues
99.
to verbalise how he's feeling about the darts he's throwing.
And Dominik Gruellich is just stoically getting on with the job. And you wouldn't know it to look at him, but I bet Dominik Gruellich is looking at Michael Smith, get more and more wound up and thinking, you carry on. This is ideal. He's carried on with this sort of 89 average, and it may be enough. Double 5 is missed.
125.
5-1 beckons for Gruellich.
Wrong side of the wire, but a dart at the ball. incoming for a 5-1 lead. And it'd be another break of throw, and that's exactly what we get. Superb stuff. Well, he gives absolutely nothing away with his emotions, unlike his opponent in this match. But as you can see, both of the highest checkouts in this one been pinned on the bull,
100.
but that could be the most important one yet to compile the misery after Michael Smith missed double 5 for that 130.
Well, Michael Smith, again, furiously filing away at those points.
85.
If he keeps on going, there'll be no points left.
$140.
Not all about averages this game, we know that. And Dominik Gruellich, who is averaging 88.5 for the day, and he's averaging around about 88.5 in this game. Oh, he's got it up, well, 90, there we go. But this is the level he's been at. He's had a little bit of fortune, survived match darts against Dirk van Dijvenbode, had a very tight game with Ryan Meikle in the first round. But he has been taking his chances. He has been doing enough, and it
100.
looks like he might have enough in this game to take out a former world champ. I went for the 25, couldn't get it. But he's going to come back with 3 darts a double.
89. $140.
Smith is seething. But
Game shot.
Gruellich is going one leg away. Well,
You can
telling himself to wake up there, Michael Smith.
You can still win if you wake up. That's what he said
91.
there. He is still trying to convince himself that this can be done. And it can. This is a 90 average from Gruellich. And we know Michael Smith in Top Gear can blast anybody off the board. This man convincingly beat Michael van Gerwen in a
140.
world final. He powered past Nathan Aspinall in the final of the Grand Slam. If he does reach the final,
80.
that's not going to help. This booth might not be standing if Michael Smith gets any more frustrated. If he does get to the final, he's on a 7-game winning streak in finals. He hasn't lost one for years.
100.
Well, I'd suggest if he does get angry and the booth does come down, he doesn't want to bring it down by throwing a dart at it, because he'll probably just bounce back
85.
out. Johnny Clayton also a leg away from victory. And that one around against Danny Noppert.
45.
It's been quite a few months for German darts. Martin Schindler,
48.
obviously. Picking up Euro Tour titles last year. He picked up his first floor title. Dominik Gruellich is just potentially a couple of visits away from putting himself in the final and having a chance to join
46.
Hopp and Pietreczko and Schindler as title winners in senior PDC darts just 2.5 weeks after he won his first development tour title.
131.
Smith leaves 66. What a way to reach your first final this would be. This would be incredible, Dominik Gruellich. He could not follow that first dart.
98.
Well, Michael Smith, we've heard him. He's been telling himself, if you wake up, you can still get the job done in this match.
Game shot.
And he extends this match, making Dominik serve it out for a spot in the final.
60. $140.
Eight legs played in this. Michael Smith has had darts to win 5 of them. He's not... I had many legs where he's
60.
missed dart after dart after dart. There was leg 3 where he missed the ball and then couldn't tidy up the 25. We've not had any of those really
140.
messy legs where it's visit after visit, because Gruellich, credit to him, has been pretty economical at the back end of legs. There has been nothing spectacular, but it has been solid, it has been steady, and that's been enough in this game so far.
140.
Yeah, but is it going to be, now that Michael Smith seems to have found something?
171.
He has found something, but the thing is, he can't lose it. He cannot lose it for the next 5 legs. And that is a very, very tough ask. We know
100.
Michael Smith can go and average 115 for 5 legs running, but can he do it right now without having one bad leg? Double 5. Not
40.
found. Gruellich, another chance to win it. He couldn't take it with a 170. How about a 141?
Not going to get a dart at double 12 at the end of this combination
109.
either. But this, you feel, does have to go for Michael Smith.
Game shot.
And it does. Throws that last dart at the board in anger. Turn yourself on for 10 minutes, Mike. Might be able to put subtitles on for the remainder of this match.
139.
He's frustrated. You understand why. But I tell you what, there is no lack of fight from him. He is desperately trying everything he can to turn this game around.
140.
It's probably going to be too much. But this is Michael Smith.
135.
Well, I wonder, for Dominik, the more Michael Smith is talking to himself, I know we've been saying, this is great, he's getting irate. Does it get to a point where it just annoys you a little bit?
140.
I don't think that'll annoy. I think the problem is Michael Smith is saying, I can win this, I can win this. I just need to turn myself on.
140.
If he wins this leg and he wins the next leg, Dominik Gruellich might start believing Michael Smith. And that is going to be a worrying thing. Gruellich has not deviated. He is playing this same solid stuff
140.
once again. He's down to a finish after 9 darts. But Michael Smith is there first. Double 9 is a 12 darter. This would be an incredible comeback. But this is such... Well, they're all important legs. But this one against the darts to go within 1 and then have the darts to level. If you're going to ask some serious questions of a 23-year-old in his first ever semi-final, he never got off his board before.
100.
This has got to be anxiety-inducing for Gruellich.
And this is where you might expect, you've mentioned the word anxiety there, where you'd
100.
expect there are still issues going on them to rear their head, but I don't think we've seen as many
42.
issues with his throw in this match as we did when he was on the streaming board yesterday.
Well, these last few legs, the last 3 that Smith has won, he's not had a dart at double yet, Gruellich. Yes, he's had shots, 170, 141.
60.
And he should be feeling confident. He's won loads of games today. He's won more games than he's ever won in a senior tournament in the PDC. But he's got a lead
59.
here. He's got a 100-point cushion. Set this up, take it out, you're in the final for the first time in your career. And what a dart that is.
Oh, that is absolutely magnificent. He's just had to withstand
60.
a bit of a revival from Michael Smith in this match, but to make it through to his first PDC Players' Championship final. One match dart has come and gone. But he gets it at the second time of asking, wraps it up with a 14 darter. You can see how much that means to him. Michael Smith was frustrated from start to finish pretty much, but 47% checkout success from the German. What a day this could end up being for the 23-year-old. Just a matter of weeks before picking up his first development tour title. He could be about to add Players' Championship glory to the tally.